Chosen vessels, what's the deal? It's DrewTube, and I'm back at you again with another video. Shout out to the Galactic family. Shout out to every member of Drew Nation. Press that like button, press that share button, and don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Look, let's get right into it. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to where you feel overwhelmed. All right? You don't have to be anxious because you want to get something right. When you don't feel that it's okay to make mistakes, you're going to think that you have to be perfect with everything that you do. And there's no way to be perfect when you go to do something. You have to do your best, and you have to pray for the best in terms of hoping that the amount of effort that you put in will be good enough. That's why it's good to do your best. So that way, even if you make a mistake, or even if something goes wrong, you would have put forward the best effort that you possibly could have. And that's what people are going to look for. So when you're doing something, don't put the amount of pressure on yourself to where it's going to make you mess up in the first place. A lot of people do that to themselves, and they get anxiety before they go to do something, or they worry themselves to the point to where now they forget everything that they've ever done. It's like somebody that knows all the answers and that studied and prepared themselves for a test, but when they go to take the test, they forget everything because the amount of pressure that they're putting on themselves. It's good to want to do well. It's good to want to succeed. But if you are putting an amount of pressure on you to where you forget what you studied, now you can't even think straight. You can't even remember what it is you taught yourself or what it is you studied. That's not going to help you. There are plenty of people who will fail a test, and then after the exam, they'll remember all the answers. It's because now that pressure is gone. They're not underneath a time limit. There's nothing that they feel they have to complete. When you feel you have to do something right, and you feel that if you make a mistake you're going to die, then when you go to do something, you're not going to do it as good as you would if you were to relax yourself and assure yourself that you do things good and that you know everything that you're supposed to know. All right, you have to tell yourself that your memory is good. You have to tell yourself things like, I can do this. You have to tell yourself things like, my mind is a storehouse of memory. All right, everything that you teach to yourself, everything that you teach your mind, you have the power to remember. You just can't talk to yourself a certain way to where your mind isn't going to perform how you want it to perform. If you tell yourself you have a terrible memory, then your mind's not going to do what you need it to do. If you put too much pressure on yourself, you tell yourself you're not good enough, you tell yourself things like you don't think you're going to make it, you don't think you're going to succeed, it's going to be harder for you to go perform than somebody that's confident, somebody that knows that this is something that they can do. People who know that they're good, people who believe in themselves, they take a lot of pressure off themselves. They give themselves room to make error and room to make mistakes. And I suggest you do the same thing. So that way you won't be so worried, or you won't be so uptight to where now you can't even do what you planned out to do. You can't even do what you sought out to do, because now you're so worried and you're so anxious of doing a good job that now you're not going to be able to perform at all. So it's good to want to do a good job, but you still have to give yourself room to make mistakes to where you know you're going to do well. I'm just not going to put that much pressure on myself. But that all boils down to the information that you know and what you've taught yourself. That's why you have to put in enough time and you have to put in enough energy so that way you could get what you want out of what you're trying to do. And when you put in enough time and when you put in enough effort, you're not going to have that pressure on you. So it's good to prepare. It's good, like I said, it's good to prepare, it's good to study, but still there are people who have studied it all and who know everything, and still, because they worry too much, or they have fear of failure, that they put too much pressure on themselves, and all they can do is focus on not doing a good job. And that's what causes them not to do a good job. You have to know that there's a chance that you could make a mistake. You have to know there's a chance you could fail, but you still have to go forth and you still have to put your best foot forward so you can succeed anyway. Because when you give yourself a chance, and when you tell yourself, you know what, I believe in myself, I can still succeed, I'm still going to go through with this, I'm going to take all this pressure off myself, whether I do good or whether I do bad, I'm not going to put so much weight on myself to make it feel like it's the end of the world. And that's what people are doing. They just don't know it. You can't make yourself so overwhelmed, because the more overwhelmed you are, the higher chances you stand of not doing a good job, having performance anxiety, not being able to do your best, because you want to do well so bad that it makes you get upset. Now you're angry. That anger clouds your judgment, and now you might make decisions that you wouldn't normally make. You might make choices that you wouldn't normally make, because you want to get something right so bad. You want to be perfect so bad. You don't want somebody to look at you and see that you made a mistake. You don't want somebody to laugh at you for getting it wrong, or you don't want somebody to call you stupid. Sometimes when we get overwhelmed, we're too worried about what other people think, what somebody has to say, how they're going to feel about our mess up or what we did wrong. And sometimes that boils down to how you handle things when you were younger. So if maybe somebody put a lot of pressure on you to do good in school, or maybe you put a lot of pressure on yourself to do good in school, or to do good at your first job, or to do good at something. You can't put so much pressure on yourself to do good to where you don't do good at all. That's not good. That's not good. You want to be able to go into things with a level head. You want to be able to go into things calmly, and you want to be able to handle things smoothly with a proper attitude, with a proper mindset. And how you have the proper mindset when you handle things is, if you feel overwhelmed, you have to calm yourself down. Because when you get overwhelmed and you go to try to perform or go to try to do something, it's not going to turn out how you want it to. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be frustrated. Things aren't going to go right. So all you want is things to go right. And you have to pat yourself on the back. You got to commend yourself for wanting to do a good job, wanting to do something right. But it's okay to not be perfect. And sometimes, because we're trying to impress people, or because we want to look like we know what we're doing, or we want to do a real good job, we get overwhelmed. All right, you want to do good. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do good. There's nothing wrong with wanting people to see you as somebody who knows what they're talking about, who knows what they're doing, who can do the job right. But don't put so much pressure on yourself to where you make a mistake. Now it's the end of the world because you didn't get something right. Now you're snapping at people who are looking at you and laughing because you made a mistake. Now that may cause more problems for you. So if you get overwhelmed when you go to do something, then you have to be able to bring yourself to a level head and calm yourself down, because that's going to help you when you go to try to do it again. All right, when you get upset, when you get overwhelmed, put it down for a little bit. It may, if you don't have to do it right now, if it's something that you could take your time with, put it down for a second and come back to it. Because the better you're able to think, the better you're able to perform, the better you're able to get a better result. You want to be able to think clear. You want to be able to not have rage, not have anger. You don't want to be thinking that you're going to mess up. These are all things that are going to hold you back when you go to try to perform. All right, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves because we want to be the best. We want to be great at what we do. We don't want people to call us stupid or say, damn, he's dumb. He don't know what he's talking about. Dang, I thought she knew what she was doing. You have to chill out, and you have to not think of the worst scenario. It's real easy to think of the worst scenario when things don't go right. So you have to catch yourself and not kick yourself when you're in the process of trying to figure something out, because you don't want to put yourself down just because you don't know right this second. And I want to tell you right now that nobody else is doing that to themselves. Only us. Nobody else is doing that to themselves. Everybody else is making a mistake. They may not have the same issues, or they may not be going through what you're going through, but everybody makes mistakes. Other people, some people have more of a support system for when they make mistakes than others. All right, when some people go to make mistakes, they have people that are telling them, "Oh, it's okay, it's going to be all right, don't worry about it, you're going to do just fine." And then when some people make mistakes, they get eyebrows raised at them. They get, "All right, one more time, you're out of here, Miss Jones." One more out of here, one more time, you're out of here, Mr. Jenkins. So it's like some people are dealing with a lot more pressure than others, but still, that's okay, because still, even with that pressure that you're dealing with, everybody makes mistakes. And it all boils down to your thought process and how you think about your situation. If you think just because your situation, if you think just because of what you look like, if you think just because of who you are, things are going to be more difficult for you, on top of that they already might be, your thoughts and your thinking isn't going to make it any better. So what you have to do is you have to think better for yourself times two. You got to think that you're really going to be able to do it, even if it seems hard. Even if it seems like, what, I thought I knew what I was doing. I don't think I could do this. You got to stop yourself and tell yourself, you know what, let me calm down. Let me tell myself some positive things instead of some negative things. That's what you got to do. You have to regain control of your mind, because sometimes situations and circumstances, when we don't get things right, when things don't go our way, the bleak outlook will overpower the positive outlook. Sometimes it might be so much darkness clouding your judgment to where you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. To where if you were to have a positive mindset, you know what? I made a mistake. I still did my best today, and I'm still going to keep a positive attitude, so that way when I come back here, there's no negative energy, and I'm going to be able to have the mindset of, I'm still going to try to do my best. I'm still going to make this work. I'm not just going to give up because it's not working out. I'm not just going to automatically assume the worst because it doesn't seem like it's going well right this second. And that's where a lot of us make mistakes at and have problems. Things don't go the way we want it right this second. And because we're not getting an immediate result, or we're not able to perform our best right now, we want to do so good and we want everybody to see us doing well. And we want people to be like, "Hey, he does that good." All right, sometimes you've been going through so much in your life. Sometimes you just want to do a good job at something. Sometimes you just want to know that, you know what, I knew it was something that I could do right. I knew it was at least something that I could do. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure on us in life, and we put too much pressure on us because of our upbringing, because of how we were raised, because of societal, social pressures, stuff like that. Other people are doing well. We want to be doing well too. Other people look like they got it all together. We want to look like we got it all together too. But the thing is, it doesn't matter what your life looks like to other people. Everybody grows at different time periods. Everybody learns at different levels. Everybody gets things differently. You may be a genius in certain areas of life, and then in other areas of life, you may struggle in. People may laugh at you. People may point the finger at you. People may have negative things to say about you. But you can't let that enter your mind and get to you to where now you're attacking yourself. just because of what other people may think or what you may think they may be thinking. The mind, the mind is a very strong and vicious thing at the same time. If you don't control it, if you don't control your mind, your thoughts can be vicious towards you, your own thoughts. So sometimes we have to check our own thoughts. Sometimes we have to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves and be like, wait a minute. Am I the one being negative? Is it my thoughts? Am I being destructive towards myself, thinking about what other people may have to say about what it is that I'm doing or something that I have going on? Because sometimes we do it to ourselves. Sometimes we want to do such a good job that when we make a mistake, we'll put ourselves down and beat ourselves up before somebody else gets a chance to. And they may laugh or they may have something to say, and now we're ready to chew their head off because we done formulated all this negative stuff in our mind about us making a mistake and how we feel about it. Sometimes we feel so negative about what we're doing that somebody else may unfortunately catch the brunt of our own bad behavior. But you got to calm down and not be overwhelmed so that way you can get things right, because that anxiety is going to create problems for you. That anxiety is going to lead you to worry. It's going to lead you to fear. It's going to lead you to doubt yourself and doubt your ability and doubt your performance. When people start something new, there's always things that they don't know. There's always things that they don't know how to figure out. And you got to ask yourself, is this something really worth getting upset or angry over? Am I getting mad because I'm bad, or am I getting mad because I haven't figured this out yet and I just want to do a good job? If you're getting mad because you haven't figured something out yet, you got to give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance, homegirl. Give yourself a chance, homeboy. You gotta give yourself a chance, and you can't immediately write yourself off. That's why a lot of us end up missing out on good opportunities. Things don't look like they're going to work out, we give up. Things don't look like we're going to be able to do a good job, we quit. I don't think I'm gonna last here. I don't think I'm gonna make it here. We put ourselves down and don't even give ourselves a chance sometimes. It's difficult when you want to do a good job and you want to be able to take care of yourself and sustain yourself, and you doubt your abilities. It's hard. It seems like everybody else can win. It seems like everybody else can get ahead. It seems like everybody else can succeed except you. That's why prayer is important. That's why before you go to do something, you pray about it. And when you can't figure it out, you don't get upset. You just go straight to God, ask Him to help you and guide you. So that way, all that anger can get used and turned into ambition and motivation and determination. That's what you do with that anger. You don't allow it to make you quit. You allow it to make you determined. If you're going to get angry to figure it out. Get angry to tell yourself, you know what, I'm not going to stop until I get this. You need to turn that mad into some ambition. So that way you'll take that energy and you'll turn it into doing power instead of not doing anything with it. All right. Don't laugh at me because I couldn't rhyme nothing with doing power. You saw me try and if I failed, but I'm gonna have something for you the next video. Okay. But look, making mistakes is cool. All right. I made a mistake just now. Look at me. Y'all laughing all in the video, probably covering your mouth and everything. Oh, Druuill, I'm right here with you. Okay. It's okay to make a mistake. Mistakes will lead you to greatness. The more mistakes you make, the better you're going to get. The more mistakes you make, the easier things are going to get for you, because if you're paying attention, which I know you are, because I know you want to be successful and good at what you do, you're going to be able to see what wrongs you've made to make some rights. Okay, that's a wrong, that doesn't work. Maybe if I do this, that'll be right. Boom. You never know when you're going to figure something out. Give yourself a chance and don't be so hard on yourself and to where you don't give yourself room to make mistakes. We got to give ourselves rooms to make errors. You got to give yourself room to make errors. All right. So when things look like you're not going to do well, when things look like you're doing bad, when it looks like everyone else is getting it and you're not, I know that could be one of the most frustrating things in the world. Why does it look like everybody else can do it? Why does it look like everybody else can get it? Why does it seem like she got it and I can't do it? Why does it seem like he got it and I can't do it? Make sure when you're in that period of trying to see why you can do it, don't see why you can't do it. You have to start to see why you can do it. And you have to start to see yourself as someone who can do it. And you have to see it, what you're trying to do, as something that you can do as well. Don't look at what you're trying to do as, oh, only Jaleisha could do it. Only Marquise can do it. Only Ronnie can do it. Only Jerry can do it. I can't do it. Don't look at it like that. Don't look at things as only other people can figure them out. Only other people can do them and you can't. Because there's a lot of things that you're good at. You just have to calm yourself down and give yourself a chance. All right. A lot of people who want to be great, sometimes we cut ourselves short. I want to be great already. I want to be great right now. I was supposed to be great yesterday. You have to give yourself some time. And you have to take the pressure off yourself of having to get everything right and get everything perfect, because you don't have to get everything right. You don't have to get everything perfect. All you have to do is do your best. And when you find out it's okay for you to make mistakes, that's when you're going to start doing even better. That's when you're going to start doing things with ease. When you give yourself room for error, when you give yourself room to make mistakes, when you're not ready to tear yourself apart, and when you're not ready to destroy your product or your project, when you're not ready to throw it all away over one small problem, you take all that's when all that pressure is going to come off you, and you're not going to be overwhelmed anymore. You have to look at other people and see how they're handling things. When you get mad and when you get angry, look at somebody else that looks like they're having the opposite experience of you. Sit and think for a second. What has this person got going on that I don't? Nothing. They don't have anything going on that you don't, except for they give themselves rooms to make mistakes, and they don't put as much pressure on themselves as you do. Now, there are some people out there that don't have as much pressure on them as you do, but that still doesn't make your situation any less better than theirs. If anything, it makes you stronger. It makes you that much greater, that you have to deal with. Maybe you have to deal with more adversity than other people. Maybe other people are driving to work. Maybe you're walking to work. Maybe other people are being able to fly somewhere where you have to take the bus and take the train, and it might take you a whole 2 weeks to get to where you go, and it might take them an hour or two. You don't put that much pressure on yourself. You got to take it easy on you. All right, whatever other people have, that may have not been the best example, but whatever people have that you don't count yourself out because of that. Maybe somebody has a connection. Here's a better example. Maybe somebody has a connection to where they could do more than you, and to where you don't have a connection, and you have to do more just to be able to get things done. That's okay. As long as you're still able to get things done, as long as you're still able to believe in yourself and believe in your dream and go after what you want in life, and still see yourself being able to succeed, no matter how many mistakes you've made, no matter how overwhelmed you got, no matter how anxious you got, you still put your best foot forward to make something right, to make a change, or to create something, or to have something for yourself, you're still going to win. Everybody gets to their destination at a different time. And just because you may be getting to yours at a different time than other people doesn't make your story any less greater, doesn't make you any less better. They may have everything they need right now. They may be able to do everything they possibly can do for themselves right now. And they still make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, even the president. You have to stop putting that much pressure on yourself to where you feel you're above making a mistake. You're not that perfect. We're not that perfect. I'm not that perfect. We think we're great. We think we're amazing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you could be great and amazing and still make mistakes. Things aren't always going to be right. Things aren't always going to be perfect. You may not always do something right. You may do something wrong at times. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't beat yourself up just because you did something wrong. Maybe somewhere, sometime, somebody in your life put a lot of pressure on you for getting things wrong. Maybe there was a lot of pressure put on you by teachers or by coaches or by parents or by aunts or uncles or family members. Maybe there was a lot of pressure put on you. That's not always a bad thing, because people just want you to succeed. People want you to do well. All right, people want the best for you sometimes, but like I said, nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. But still, you have to correct your mind. You can't allow that to be an excuse for you. Well, I was raised this way, or well, I was brought up this way, or I did that in my first job, or the coach at school and the teacher. Like, you can't make that an excuse. You still have to change, no matter what, no matter what or how, or whatever happened to where you ended up thinking about things to where you put a lot of pressure on yourself and didn't allow yourself to make mistakes. You have to change that. You can't blame anyone for that, and you shouldn't want to. You have to take accountability for how you think now, and take accountability. You should love to take accountability for this one. Take that pressure off yourself. Make some mistakes. All right. Don't go out and cause any problems for yourself. DruTube, I made a mistake. Well, I ain't tell you to do all that now. I ain't tell you to go wreck your life. I just said it's okay to not get things right all the time. So you should be striving for greatness. You should be striving to do your best, but just know on the path to that, it's okay to not get everything right. And you don't have to get everything right. You don't have to feel stupid just because you don't get something right. You don't have to feel dumb just because you get something wrong. Everybody is incorrect at some point or time. And if people are laughing at you and really putting you down because you're making a mistake or you didn't do something right, it's usually 9 times out of 10 because you're better than them. So why don't you keep that in mind as well? If it's other people and if it's not you, they're only doing that because they have some type of jealousy towards you. When people go real hard on you for making you messed up, that's the only chance they get to feel better than you in that split second. So they'll take advantage of that. But just because life is like that and you can't get away from that doesn't mean you do that to yourself before somebody else does. And that's another thing. We try to, I guess what our minds try to do is we try to criticize ourselves or come at ourselves or do ourselves in a certain way before we feel other people may try to do that. So I guess that's one way the mind works. Because of how society is, our mind will try to do it to us first as a defense mechanism. But really, you still have to take control of your mind, because if you put yourself down about something, other people are going to be able to put you down about it as well. So if you feel that somebody's going to clown you or laugh at you for something that you did, they are. They're going to be able to see it in your face. They're going to be able to see that you don't want to be laughed at. There's people out there that got secret negative superpowers out there that they could peep when you're uncomfortable, or peep when you're trying to hide how you feel or not be laughed at, or trying to hide an insecurity. There's people who can see that. It's called cognitive intelligence. It's a narcissistic personality disorder trait. All right, so be careful. Don't put that amount of pressure on you, because other people in the world could possibly put that pressure on you. It's like somebody laughing at something bad that happens to them so nobody else does. You spill some on your new shirt, at the lunch table, you laugh at it before everybody else laughs at you. If you didn't even laugh at yourself or didn't even make a big deal out of it, or brought attention to it, nobody else would have either. They probably would have just like, oh, damn, he spilled some stuff on his shirt. If you just kept it moving and act like you didn't even care, even if you do hear the laughter, ignore it. Don't even pay no attention to it. It's the same thing with how you feel about things. When you feel overwhelmed, don't pay any attention to that. You don't ignore it, but you calm yourself down. You could talk yourself out of being overwhelmed. I did it the other day. I was upset. I couldn't figure something out. Instead of get real negative and tell myself I'll never be able to do this, I'll never be able to get this right, I'm terrible, I should quit, I should stop doing this, I should give up, I should never try doing this again, I'm not the person for this, everybody else can get this right except for me. Instead of doing all that, I just calmed down and was like, you know what? I got this. I do this good. I can do this. I do this well. I'm not going to give up. All I have to do is calm down and think some new thoughts. All I got to do is tell myself to keep my head in the game. Stay in this thing. Don't give up. If you keep your head in the game, and if you're able to calm down and get your thoughts back to a clearer state, get yourself back to a calmer state, the sky's the limit for you. Because when you have a calm mind, when you calm down, you start to become more confident. You start to become more positive. You start to see things through a better lens, and you start to see yourself, excuse me, being able to succeed again. Versus, I can't succeed. Now I can succeed again. Instead, like, don't do the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing to yourself. All right, don't be, I'm crazy now, and now I'm nice again. Don't, I can't do it, and now I can again. I know we still gonna do that anyway, but it's better to fail, to not quit, than to quit and fail. All right, fail to not quit, fail to not give up. I'm gonna fail at not giving up. I'm going to fail at not quitting, because I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. I may not have said that right, but what I meant to say is just keep going, keep failing, and don't stop failing. Keep going and just because you fail, don't give up. That's all I'm saying. Just because you may fail, don't give up. Why would you want to stop? I guarantee you're this close. I guarantee it's only one small thing that you didn't get. People will be ready to quit and give up, but it's only one small thing that we didn't get. Ready to quit and give up because you didn't get this right, or you didn't get this one small thing right, but you got the majority of everything else. You got most of it down pat. But because we want to be perfect, because we don't want anyone to have anything to say about what we do. So what? They may have something to say about what we do. You can't think that far ahead. You have to stay in the present moment. We create a lot of negativity with our mind from past experiences and drawing negativity to us from fear of what we think may happen. Just because you're not doing something right, don't be afraid. Just because you're not the best yet, or you might make a mistake, don't be afraid. Do not fear, because what you fear is going to happen. If you fear because you make a mistake, they're going to get rid of you, that's what you're going to get. If you fear because you make a mistake, no one's going to want to buy your product, or if I don't put this right here, or if I don't make the painting like this, or if I don't put the button here, if I make a mistake here, nobody's going to want to buy it. If that's what you think, that's what you're going to get. Your mind creates your reality. Somebody may see something good in you. Keep him on. Keep her on. I see potential in her. There's potential in him. Keep them here. They got this. You have to feel that way first. But that's why you have to tell yourself that I do this good. Calm yourself down. Relax yourself. Tell yourself some positive things. If you feel there's something that you're not doing well at, calm yourself down. I do this good. I do this well. I do it good. I do a good job. I'm going to get better. Every day, in every way, I get better and better. All right, psychologists say it's best to use affirmations when you're feeling negative, because you can still use that energy to better yourself, instead of downward spiraling and telling yourself a whole bunch of negatives. I can't do this. I'll never get it. I'm not good enough. They should have chose someone else. I'm not the one. I'm never going to be able to do well at this. We talk to ourselves like that, but we make that real. And then we wonder why those negative things happen. We wonder why situations get worse. It's because we chose to make it worse. If I had done this ahead of time in my life, I'd have been eons ahead, light years ahead. But I had a negative idea about myself. I had a negative mental conditioning. I conditioned my mind so negative, right? And it all started from me not being able to do things, not giving myself room to make mistakes, and beating myself up. Not getting something right, or I suck. I'm not gonna get anything right. If it was one thing if it was one thing that I couldn't do or get right, that was it for me. And that carries on when you don't fix certain things like that about yourself. That carries on into everything. You don't want to be carrying dead weight. That's the stuff that we gotta let go. These are the things in our mind that we have to change when we want better in life. There's no possible way I could get better in life if I don't think that I really could. I want better in life, but man, I don't think I could get it. Even if you think you could get better in life, if you still have negative mental conditioning, you're still not going to get to where you want because your mind's going to be too negative. So make it okay to make mistakes, because when you make mistakes, you have to be doing something and you have to be trying in order for a mistake to be made. You can't be doing nothing and make a mistake, because you're not doing anything to make none. You're just doing nothing. So give yourself a pat on the back. Congratulate yourself for doing it. Even if you did it wrong, you still did it. You still woke up, you still got up, you still put your best effort forward, even if you made a mistake, even if it didn't turn out right. You still learned more and did more than somebody who just sat around not doing anything. And you still did more and learned more than if you sat around and didn't do anything. You like when you will pat yourself on the back and you keep yourself motivated, you are priming and you are programming your mind to do bigger and better things. So when you get something wrong and you tell yourself, it's okay, I made a mistake, I'll get it right next time, I'll do it good. You're making that a reality to now. You're going to be motivated to want to try next time. You're going to feel good about going at this or after this the next time. And you're not going to be discouraged. You're not going to doubt yourself as much. You're going to be like, well, I didn't get this right, but you know what? Let me give it a go anyway. Let me give it a try anyway. Because that positive, just from that little positive mental conditioning, and that's all it takes is just a little bit. That engine that could book, all they did was say, I think I can. That's easy. That's something small, something minimal. All you got to do is, if anything, just remember that book when it comes to you going after anything in life. I think I can. When you tell yourself you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. There's a lot of things that are hard out here that are difficult, but you can wrap your mind around it. All you got to do is keep going and not give up. All you got to do is keep going and believe in yourself. All you got to do is allow yourself to make mistakes and not put so much pressure on yourself just because you want to be great at something. I understand you want to be great. I understand you want to be the best. That's okay. You should. You're supposed to. But don't beat yourself up along the way to where you just give up and you're so great to where you don't allow yourself to make mistakes. Nobody's that great. Nobody's great enough to not make mistakes. Only God. And all we could do is work towards becoming the best version of him. All we could do is strive to be the best person that we could be. All we could do is strive to reach that God level within us. That's all we can do. That's all he wants us to do. All while we're here, all we're here to do is work towards becoming the best, greatest version of ourselves. We're supposed to be here to reach some type of level of success. Something, whatever you think you can't do, you have to do something that you can't do here on this earth. You have to. It's a requirement. You have to do something that you feel is impossible. You have to do something that you feel you couldn't have done. You have to do something that's worth doing while you're here. You have to. And you have to be okay with making mistakes. You know how many cuts, you know how many times Michael Jackson made mistakes? He had his players play something 50 freaking times. They wanted to go home. Mike, I want to go home. Play one more time. I want to go home. Play one more time or you'll never play for me again. Mike, I'm trying to leave. I done played this 30 times. You're going to have to play it 20 times if you want to keep this job. He made him play it 50 times. The 50th time, I think you could look it up. There's a video of them in the studio, and at the 50th time he got it. Mike starts doing his little Michael Jackson stuff, and he put the song together. It took that man 50 times. He said, "No, you're not playing it right." Imagine somebody doing that to you. You ready to snap? You don't want that Michael Jackson anger because he got beat by Joe Jackson. You don't want. You might end up snapping on Michael, but you ain't gonna want him to snap on you. I don't even think Michael wanted to snap on anybody. That's why I think he did that, because I don't think he wanted to bring that. I don't think he wanted to bring that Joe Jackson out that he had in him. But yo, imagine that. You're trying to get something right. You're trying to do somebody laughing in your, that's not right. He's having a blast because that's what he loved to do. That's why I always say you got to do what you love to do, because otherwise you're not going to want to put in enough time or energy to do it in the first place. So if it's something that you want to do, you'll never give up. That's why I say choose to do what you love to do. Because if you don't love it, you'll end up putting an amount of time into something and then just give up on it. Don't do it because other people are doing it. If you are doing it, you better have been inspired to do it by them, not just doing it because so and so's doing that, I'm gonna do that. No, you got to be inspired. You have to be inspired. There has to be inspiration there. Otherwise, you're just a copycat, and you're not going to be able to do anything your own style, your own way. All right, so it's okay to make mistakes. Don't don't kill yourself by trying to be great. All right, because I understand there's a lot of pressure. People want to be successful. All right, everybody's got social media. Everybody's got camera phones. Everybody's taking pictures. Oh, what about my life? My life doesn't look as good as everyone else's, Drew. Oh, my life's not going as well as everyone else's, Drew. I want my life to be well right now. I want success right now. I want to be able to drive around and live in a house just like everybody else does on Facebook. All the people showing that they're living their best life. I don't want to be left out. You're going to get there. Don't worry about them. Take all that pressure off of yourself. See how much pressure we be putting on ourselves? You got to do it for you. You can't do it because other people are doing it. You can't do it because you want other people to see you a certain way. I understand everybody wants to look good. I understand you want to be seen looking good, feeling good. You even want to be seen smelling good. I understand. But you will get there. You don't have to rush it. Enjoy you like my mentor once told me when I was too focused on other things. He said, Drew, enjoy the journey. And it took me, I'm like, enjoy the journey. I'm like, bruh, I'm overcoming, I'm transitioning financially. You telling me to enjoy the journey? I'm like, I'm paying you to help me. You telling me to enjoy the journey? I'm like, bruh, well, how am I supposed to enjoy this? I didn't understand. You got to enjoy the journey. I was at a certain level where you are when you first start something out. When you first start something out and you're learning and you gotta get the expertise that you need, or you gotta pay for a class, or you gotta pay for a coaching, or you gotta get some instruction. There's gonna be times to where you have to go have people instruct you. All right, but you have to even during that, you have to enjoy the journey, even when you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, even when you're getting taught what to do. All right, you may be giving up your last dime for a class. All right, I was supposed to go enjoy that. That's discipline. That's a good thing that you'll put your money towards something that you need over something that is beneficial to you momentarily. So, that being said, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Enjoy your journey. I didn't mean to go off too far into that, but enjoy your journey, all right? Enjoy your journey. Make sure that on your way to success, you're having fun. It should be a fun process. It should be fun to fail. It should be fun to not know what you're doing. Have fun with learning. Oh, I didn't know that. Something that I didn't know. Don't be upset by it. Don't be upset because other people know more than you. Don't put too much pressure on yourself because other people know more than you. Don't think you're not good enough, or you suck, or you're terrible, or you're bad, or you're never going to make it just because you make mistakes and other people aren't. Oh, well, it seems like they're doing that perfect. It seems like they know what they're doing. They might. They might have been doing it longer than you. They might be doing it better than you. They might be greater than you. That's okay. All you have to do is reach your own level. Excuse me. All you have to do is reach your own level of greatness. All you have to do is reach your potential. You don't have to you don't have to outdo anyone. You don't have to outperform anyone. You just have to be better than the person that you were yesterday, and use other people as inspiration, not competition. You see somebody that's greater than you, they're your inspiration. They're your inspirer, not your competitor. All right, so it's okay to make mistakes. That pressure that you're putting on yourself is going to help you. All right, just don't put too much pressure on yourself to where if you don't do something right, you're ready to quit, because all your effort that you put in, even if it's that much, it'll be wasted. Then you'll have to start all over again, and you don't want to waste time doing that. All right, so believe in yourself. Know that it's okay to not always get things right, And you know that you would always come back bigger, better, and stronger when you don't give up on yourself, when you don't stop, and when you don't listen to the negative voice in your mind. And when you do have a negative voice in your mind, you condition your mind to think positive. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. Smash that like button, smash that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. It's been another DruTube special. Hope this was another powerful message for you guys. Thank you everybody for liking, commenting, and sharing. And shout out to everybody who's donating. All right, shout out to Renee for donating. Okay, shout out to a couple other people. Shout out to EW. All right, shout out to my man EW for the $20 donation, and shout out to Joy Faith for the $50 donation. I appreciate everybody sending love to my channel, spreading love to my channel. Let's keep working towards our success. Let's keep reaching our goals. I'll see everybody in the next video. It's been another DruTube special. Shout out to the Drew Nation. Salute. Peace.